Get those nerds! Nerds!
It's Monday night on Blog Talk Radio. It's time for the nerds to come out.
They see me mowing my front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm so white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy. Here at MIT, got skills, I'm a champion of D&D. MC Escher, that's my favorite MC. Keep your 40 out, just have an Earl Grey tea. My rims never spin, to the contrary. You'll find that they're quite stationary. All of my action figures are cherry. Stephen Hawking's in my library. White and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
You're listening to Nerd Wave Radio.
Welcome to Nerd Wave Radio, right here on Blog Talk Radio and YouTube. Many of you listening might, or watching here on YouTube, might remember this as Nerd Wave Radio with Harry Marlowe. Harry has gone on to a better place. No, he's not dead. Oh my God, he's not dead at all. Those of you know who follow Harry Marlowe, he's got so much going on. Just decided that at this particular time couldn't carry on. I had so much time or so much fun with Nerd Wave Radio. I had to keep it going, and since you get used to a name, and so Terry rhymes with Harry.
Is that why it was picked?
I can't tell you how hard it was.
Well, you did it once. You did it the other day.
Oh, I did it with Harry.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was with Harry. Terry West, my brother-in-law. Here's what happened. This is how it happened. I talked with Harry, and Harry's like, I just can't do it, man. I got so much other stuff going on. I mean, he's into kickboxing now. He's got all kinds of. He's just.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he's doing kickboxing. He's doing all kinds of stuff.
Cool.
And I had told him this before. This is really the most fun show that I do because you just get on you just talk.
Right.
And I thought to myself, there's no possible way I could talk for an hour about nerd stuff all by myself. So I'm thinking, who do I know? Who do I know that is a nerd? And I came up, I was like, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. And
I'm
then,
in the background.
And then you come in yesterday. And it was like the heavens opened and this big angelic thing came over your head.
I have that effect.
Do you? And it was just, it was like nerd. Nerd.
Oh, wait. Let's rein it back. Let's bring that back.
So I'm Derek. This is Terry. Here's the thing. If you want to find, if you want to get a hold of us, if you want to find anything out, nerdwavetonight at gmail.com. Many of you are hooked into the Facebook already. Some of you are hooked into the web page already, but this is the new web page. Every time I do a web page and I put somebody else's face on it, they're always like, "Really? That's the best picture."
That was what I said. Where did you get that from? I thought it was deleted. I swear.
No, man. I just went into Terry West's Facebook, and that one was like, it just popped out. It was like, there it is, and I'm thinking, okay, I got to get a picture, a nerdy kind of picture, and it was just there again, like the heavens opened up, kablam, there's Terry with his sunglasses on, and I'm thinking, oh my God, Terry, when did that happen? When did you do that?
It was a garage sale.
Oh.
With my daughters, and I was selling them, and I thought, this is
So I
funny.
cropped you out of the picture, and here's the thing. It was for me, you'll notice I'm cropped out very well. Mm-hmm. Look at me, it's because I got a black hat on and everything. Do you know how hard it is to Photoshop a bald man's head? Because it's like, oh, I can't do any tiny little indentation.
Well, it put a dent in my head.
It did. It put a dent in your head.
You can tell everyone it's an old war wound.
Yes, but here's what I thought. You look just like Jason Hawes from Ghostbusters. From Ghost Hunters.
Oh.
There's no Jason Hawes in Ghost Busters. Ghost Hunters, man.
Ghost Hunters. I'm not a ghost. I mean, I'm a ghost fan, but I didn't watch it much.
Oh, okay. But
my wife and daughter, they love it.
That's what you look like. So you can see, check out our webpage. All you have to do is go to nerdwaveradio.com. That's all you have to do to find out all kinds of things. We got stuff in there. It's going to be coming out on YouTube on Wednesday. If you're listening right now on Blog Talk Radio, Want to welcome guest 59 into the chat room. If you're listening now, on Wednesday, the YouTube will come out, and if you're sitting right there thinking, now you're talking about Terry, I gotta see what he looks like.
You've got to get on there and take a look at this.
Because now, see, we've got the goatee, right?
Yeah, that was before. I
got the
no
goatee.
shave November. I decided, hey, I
Now-
kind of like it. I'm going to keep it going.
Now
for
it's a
while.
huge beard.
It's a manly beard.
An unbelievable manly beard. You can also find us on Facebook. Go to Nerd Wave Radio. I know a lot of people are there. You'll see one of the very first things. You can listen to the Blog Talk Radio there. When the YouTube comes out, you can also find it there. So we're all over the place. Nerd Wave Radio goes on even after the
We
end.
leave the studio.
Even after that's right. Now, those of you who've listened to Nerdwave Radio before know that with Harry was an expert in many things. Terry brings his own genres to the table. I am not. I'm nerdy. I guess I'm nerdy. I have my. I'm narrow focused.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So there's just a few things I'm nerdy about. You bring genre like comic books,
Yep. Love them.
reading,
Yep. Love to read.
big comic like superheroes.
Yeah.
Are you an Archie fan?
Well, yeah, not so much the. Yeah, when I was younger, I did read the Archies. Not so much anymore or anything.
But
I don't identify with them.
right,
But I identify with like Batman.
Tolkien, that type of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Read-
Oh yeah. Yeah. I read
so,
that.
Harry was a big horror fan.
I am a big. I would classify myself more as a sci-fi fan. Really.
There you go.
I like horror,
Yep.
but sci-fi is definitely.
Sci-fi
given
is-
a choice, I'm gonna watch Star Trek over The Walking Dead.
Right. You know what I actually did? I do this every once in a while on Netflix. Was it Netflix? Shoot, I don't remember. Maybe it was Amazon. Every once in a while, I go back and start all over with the Star Trek: The Next Generations.
Yeah.
I just start them again and just boom all the way through them.
Yes.
And that's what I've been doing now. So, Nerdwave Radio will have a different flavor. We'll talk about different things, but it's still going to be totally nerd related. One of the things that I got on the phone, Harry shared this with me today from the Nerdist. We wanted to talk about this. Star Wars adds the first LGBT character to the canon. And you know what else? I don't know if you saw this, and I can't remember if it's true. Maybe a week ago, Catwoman
Right.
came out as either bisexual or lesbian. I can't remember. Say what? Catwoman did, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I could almost see it, maybe.
you almost want to see it, don't
No,
you?
not want to see it. I said I'd like to see that.
I'd almost want to see that, that's for sure. I think it was Catwoman.
I could almost see them saying that she's bisexual or something, you know,
Yeah.
and you would believe it.
You'd
It's
see-
Catwoman. I
You
mean,
see that a lot now,
Yeah.
now that things are coming out. But Star Wars coming out. Are you a big Star Wars fan? The movie?
I loved the first three. The second three were
Now wait a second.
Okay.
What do you mean? The first three that came out?
yeah, the
Or the-
original Star Wars.
Okay, the original
episode.
Star Wars 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Big fan of those. I love those ones. The other ones I watched and enjoyed, but there were like a lot of questions. I just thought,
See-
man, he turned evil real quick.
Yeah. See, I am not a Star Wars fan at all.
Oh, really?
Well,
oh,
it's
good.
not-
I don't feel too bad.
It's not that
I'm
it's not that I
huge.
hate them.
Right.
It's just that I'm a Star Trek fan, not a Star Wars fan.
Right.
I don't think I've watched one of them all the way through.
Oh, I've watched.
Didn't even know they were books, but evidently there's just book after book after book. And this just came out as one of the characters in there to the canon of it. So I'm assuming that means, the core of the Star Wars books.
Right.
This character
Turns out to be gay.
Turns out to be gay, and they're adding it in, and so I think you're going to see more and more of that. And did they do that in comics? I mean, I know they did that with Cat. They just said that they did that with Cat.
Yeah,
Catwoman is Marvel or DC? Let's see. She's Batman, so
DC.
she'd be DC.
Yeah, DC.
Yeah.
They've done it with a few of them. I mean, obvious, you know.
Green Lantern?
Yeah, he's turned out to be gay.
Yeah. How did you miss that? All that.
I know.
I mean, that's what I don't understand is.
Right.
It's been, I don't know how long Green Lantern's been
For a while.
in there, and then how do you miss that? How do you all of a sudden just say, hey, guess what? This Green Lantern dude that
He was that good at hiding his true feelings.
he was that good.
Well, I mean, you know, he had the power ring, so maybe that was.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Do you think that that's a big deal? I mean, is that
It was for the comic community.
I mean, why? I mean, it's big for the LGBT community to say finally we've got a gay superhero.
Right. So, you know, I believe they were happy. You know, your core comic fan group, especially the Green Lantern fans, probably quite a few of them, I'm sure, were, oh my God, that can't be. Because like you said, it wasn't like, hey, he acts strange. Why does he do it? It was just suddenly all of a sudden, boom, hey, I'm gay.
Why do you think they do that instead of creating a whole new superhero?
Oh,
and from the scratch that says, hey, here's your gay superhero.
I firmly believe it is really tough to come up with a new superhero just because.
But they've done that all along, though, haven't they? I mean,
Create superheroes?
Yeah, look at
but
how
how
many
many
there
have
are.
stuck around?
I don't know.
The newer ones seem like, because they're coming up, you know, there's some that they just can't make fly, basically.
There's some of them, too, that actually the nerd community, the comic community actually just loves, and you see that they're coming out with movies or series on them, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, I love superhero movies. Mm-hmm. Not all of them, but I love the superhero. But like Ant-Man, and there are some people who would be like, let me tell you about Ant-Man. Ant-Man is just this fantastic dude, and I'm thinking to myself, really? Ant-Man?
Exactly.
What the hell does Ant-Man do? Now I remember.
I honestly, I know he could. I believe. Well, no, he could shrink down.
He can shrink down. He's like a little tiny guy.
At what point is that good? I mean, you're up against a bad guy. I'm gonna use my special power on you, and then
he's gone. I don't know. Some people love them though, especially
I shouldn't make fun of Ant-Man because I wasn't a big Ant-Man reader, so I don't know a lot of what I'm talking about when it comes to him.
I think that's one of the things that you're going to hear on Nerdwave Radio, especially with myself and Terry. Because you heard it a lot when Harry was here. I make fun of everything. I'm a firm believer of making fun of, and just setting the nerd community on fire, burning it to the ground.
You can't laugh at nerds. Who can you?
But I get very offended when people make fun of Tolkien. We can do all that, but we can't
make fun of Tolkien.
We can't make fun of Tolkien. So we all have our favorite things. Some people are just dead on. I love this. If you don't love this, you're not a true believer. You don't know jack about comics if you don't know about Fungus Man or whatever.
Right, and that's where I'm almost kind of afraid of being on this show because I say I'm a comic book fan and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then somebody's going to say, well, what did you think of issue 2 of blah?
Right.
I'm going to be like, I don't know. And Batman. I like Batman, okay? He kicks
yes.
butt.
And that's what I think that's the big thing is when you talk about this whole nerddom and you talk about the idea of, okay, if you're a true fan, then you know everything about everybody.
Right.
And that isn't. I am a fan of certain things, and if that fulfills that nerd definition, then that's great. There's something that I could. Now, here's the thing. I'll probably watch Ant-Man and love it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely love it. I didn't grow up reading comics.
What I usually do, like with Ant-Man, I'll be honest. I'll actually go online. I'll look up what the history of Ant-Man.
Sure.
And I'll read up on them.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I know what I'm talking about when I cut them
But
down.
if that isn't the definition of a nerd, I don't know what is. What did you do last night? God, I was up till midnight researching Ant-Man. researching it, man.
That's it.
I'm very much a political nerd. To Christine will come in and say, what are you watching? I'm watching Parliament, man. I'm watching them question the Prime Minister, and I'm loving it. Get the popcorn. Just absolutely love it. That's. But anyway, they've decided that in Star Wars there's going to be
a gay character.
A gay character. There'll probably be. Which, hey, but they, just like they had said, there were other gay characters in Star Wars to begin with. This is just part of the canon. So this is one of the things that fly around. It was on the Nerdist.com. If you go to nerdwaveradio.com, we have clicks to some of the, I like the nerd ones, Bloody Disgusting and Nerd Bastards, which is a good one. ComingSoon.net is good. That's something I think both of us like. We like movies. I'm a movie lover.
Yes.
Those of you who listened to Nerdwave Radio before, you'll know. So I'll just warn you, because Harry knew about this, and you should know about this. Being a co-host on this show, there's only 2 movies that I absolutely hated. J. Edgar with DiCaprio,
right, and
Argo with Ben Affleck, and that's why I'm having so much trouble with the new Batman. I'm not a Ben Affleck fan.
You don't like Ben Affleck.
I didn't like Argo. Argo was the dumbest damn show I've ever seen in my entire life.
Have to admit, I'm not a politically minded individual. I wish I was more, because I do vote. But most of the time, it's just like...
I vote. I just don't vote for Argo. Ben Affleck is... Anyway, Gone Girl. So we'll be talking a lot about movies. You have your favorite comic book fans. I have my favorite movie superheroes, because I absolutely don't know anything about the Marvel Universe, DC. I'm learning more and more.
Right. And I'll be honest, I'll probably get some of those mixed up too. Like you were asking Catwoman, is she DC or Marvel? I was like, I had to wait for a minute.
And so I have to go back and say who she's connected to. Right. Also, if you go to nerdwaveradio.com, you'll see the new trailer, the latest trailer for Avengers: Age of Ultron, coming out May 1st. Are you an Avengers fan?
I am. I do like the Avengers. I read them quite a bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
I like them. I love them. But I got to be honest, the reason I'm jazzed about Age of Ultron is because of James Spader's voice. He's Ultron, I guess.
Right.
I just love him. The Blacklist, Boston Legal.
Right.
You know James Spader. You know who I'm talking about?
Not really.
Okay.
If you show me a picture of him or something been in,
let me take you back. Let me walk you back and see if we can see
going back in time.
See how far we have to go back. Okay, so the Blacklist doesn't ring a bell for.
Well, I mean it does, but I never watched it.
Red Reddington, God, he's good in that.
No, I didn't see him.
Boston Legal. That was with William Shatner.
Sounds familiar. Oh, the TV show.
The TV show about lawyers.
But I didn't watch it.
Okay, didn't watch it.
It was lawyers.
Let me take you back to a show called Pretty in Pink.
Oh, yeah. I love that show.
You watch Pretty in Pink?
I mean
you saw it.
I didn't watch that.
You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Molly Ringwald and whatever his name is, that was her boyfriend. I can't remember.
That she had the plots for.
Yeah. And the jerk friend of his, that's James Spader.
Really?
There you go. Yep.
Okay.
That's James Spader, the real rich kid who was just,
Right.
Yep. That's James Spader.
Oh, wait a minute. He's kind of blonde, isn't he?
Okay, let me take you back a little bit earlier. Not later, but earlier. The Office?
Yeah.
Robert California. Remember him?
No, I didn't watch that.
He was the manager that they came up with in season 8 after Steve Carell left.
Right. So he took his place?
Yeah. For a season.
Okay.
Robert California. Anyway, James Spader, Age of Ultron. I don't know jack about it. I don't know anything. I don't know how Ultron came about. I don't know anything about that. I know from the trailer that.
See, that's what I wanted to look at, because I thought in the trailer, apparently, Robert Downey Jr. Did it as his alter ego
The Iron Man guy. Yeah. It created this Ultron program.
Right. And I don't know if that's how it was in the
artificial
comic book.
intelligence, but golly, you put James Spader's voice with that, and you're just like,
Yes,
I can't.
it was nice.
I'm going to be looking for every time he speaks. I just love his voice.
I'm in love with his voice.
Talking about voices, talking about sci-fi, talking about nerds. I think every nerd in the world mourned on February 27th. Leonard Nimoy passed away at the age of 83. 83. Died from COPD, died at his home in Los Angeles. Spock. I mean, when you see him, when you see him, you see Spock, Star Trek. And here's the strange thing about it, and I was looking at it, I think I'm right. Star Trek, I think, was only on for 3 years.
Yes.
3 years. I mean,
That's not a long time for any series.
no.
For anybody. That's like a kiss of death, really.
And that was what, 64? Something like that?
I think so, yeah.
64.
Yeah.
And 50 years later, everyone knows Spock. Now, it wasn't like he was in 3 years and then...
and then just faded.
I mean, there's reruns and reruns, and of course then the movie series came out.
Right.
But he was Spock, and we were going through IMDb and finding out that he was in
a lot of stuff.
If you look through the IMDb,
busy.
Just like with James Spader, just like with certain people, for me with James Spader, you could have blindfolded me and just played that trailer, and as soon as it came on, that's
You would
James
have known
Spader.
that voice, or his
James
voice.
Spader, absolutely,
Huh.
absolutely.
I only do that with like Darth Vader's voice, which now I can't think of the actor's name.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
Yes, this is CN. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Leonard Nimoy was like that. We were looking up on IMDb, and he was in Transformers.
Yeah.
He was Sentinel Prime.
He also he was the host of a show called In Search Of. Love that show.
Okay, that's amazing that you said that.
Watched every episode.
Christine and I were taking a walk because it's a nice day here down in southeastern Colorado. We were walking, and I was telling her about what we were going to talk about on Nerdwave Radio. Mm-hmm. And again, if you want to get a hold of us, nerdwavetonight@gmail.com. Check out our Facebook, Nerdwave Radio. Also go to our website, nerdwaveradio.com. If you're like everybody else and you just play around on your phones, go to M, as in mobile, m.nerdwaveradio.com. You can listen to all of the. Let me pull it up here, and you can listen to the show. You can email us. You can contact us. You can watch videos. Our YouTube will be there on Wednesday. Check it out, m.nerdwaveradio. Anyway, I was talking to Christine, excuse me, and I said, you know what? One of the things, because she said, is he known for anything else except Star Trek? And I said, yeah. And I said, you know, when I was a kid, one of the things that I loved, still watch it today if I can find them. Mm-hmm. In Search Of.
I know.
In Search Of. So it's amazing that you say that. You remember that, remember?
Oh, yeah. I watched it all the
knew
time.
his voice. His voice was In Search of Noah's Ark.
In search of Bigfoot.
In Search of...
The Loch Ness Monster.
I was trying to... She asked me, that must have been a Sunday night show. Do you remember how old you were? Ooh. Golly, you know what? I'm going to look that up, man. And you know what? I don't even think that was in... I don't think that was in his IMDb, was it?
You did not mention it when you were looking through it.
I'm just going to look up.
That was on for a season.
I'm just going to Google In Search. There it is. Boom.
How many seasons was it on?
In Search Of. Oh my gosh. First episode date, 2002?
No.
That can't be right. Oh,
No,
here we
that's
go.
not right.
That's the newest one.
Okay.
1976 to 1982.
Okay, I would have been old enough to go,
Yep.
Bigfoot's cool.
I was 8. I was 8 years old. Now, that was right.
Okay, so I'd have been...
Absolutely loved. Oh my gosh, look at that. On Amazon.com, you can get the complete In Search Of 146 episodes. Good Lord, that lasted longer than Star Trek.
Yeah, it lasted longer than... It did.
You just knew his voice.
You did. It was a very soothing voice. I loved his voice.
Yeah. there are people like that. Like you said, James Earl Jones, James Spader for me, Leonard Nimoy, when you could just blindfold and boom, that's, you know who the other guy is for me?
Oh.
Mike Rowe.
Yeah. I like
On the
that.
115 foot.
Yeah, Dirty Jobs.
Dirty Jobs. The crab boats.
Oh yeah, because he was just the narrator in
He's the narrator.
the narrator.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It just
But
absolutely.
yeah, you recognize his voice.
There are certain
commercials.
people. Absolutely.
Hey, that's
That's so and so's voice.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. That's right. There are certain people like that, and they kind of get stuck a little bit doing the voice. And I think, and we had talked about these two books that he had written.
Right.
I Am Spock, I Am Not Spock.
Right.
And I think I Am Not Spock came out first.
I believe so, because he was trying to distance himself. He was kind of tired of everybody walking up to him going, "Hey, how you doing?" And he was like, "No, that's not me."
And I wonder if a lot of people like that, who, I mean, this face comes up, and you're just like, that's Spock. Even if you can't remember Leonard Nimoy, you say, that's Spock. You know
Right.
it. Even if you didn't watch it as a kid, you knew it. But I wonder if it becomes so much that you say, you know what, I've got to keep working somehow, so I'll be a voice. My voice is fine. Because I'm not so, I've got to be honest, when I hear his voice, I usually say, that's Leonard Nimoy.
Right.
I
you
don't
go
usually
there.
say,
Well,
oh God, that's
true.
Spock.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's an idea of hiding behind the voice talent so that you can get your name back a little bit.
Right.
Because, you know, if he walked into a scene at any point, you would say,
Spock.
what's Spock doing on, an episode of The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Although he played Spock. That's a great episode right there.
I love that
with
one.
the little doll.
Yeah.
He's like,
You could beam me out of here.
and every time it goes
When-
back to him, he's in another position.
Yes.
So they
Yeah.
move him. Big Bang Theory. I was wondering if The Big Bang Theory was going to do any.
So I guess they, at the end of one show, they paid a tribute to him.
They did.
somewhat.
The end of one show, I watched.
Yeah.
I watched it. They put a little.
Which actually, I've got to watch. I haven't
you were the
caught that
inspiration
episode
of part of the inspiration of this show. Is a picture and everything.
yet.
Big. I saw that, and I saw the episode because I wasn't sure how they were going to handle Howard's mom.
Yeah.
Because she died in real life.
Now I do have a complaint.
She died.
They should have shown her and said, in honor of, and then shown a picture of Howard's
I
mom.
was expecting to see that at the end of the episode,
I was a little
and they
disappointed
didn't.
that they didn't.
Yeah, because I've never seen her.
I
could look her up and see her, but I didn't. I've
I
never.
actually know the actress. I don't know her personally, but I knew who she was.
You get around a
and
lot.
her work.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue to talk about Leonard Nimoy. Stay with us on the other side of this break. You're listening to Nerd Wave Radio on Blog Talk.
Hello to all of Derek's listeners. Thanks, Derek, for giving me time to share my heart's passion, encouraging cancer, long-term illness patients, and their families. Gilead is an outreach that encourages over 2,400 people in 38 states. Our goal is to bring hope and help to those on the journey through the unknowns of treatment, family stress, and spiritual questions. One such story is Eric, whose senior year in high school was interrupted by the cancer that he was diagnosed with, interrupting a 3-sport high school year. It changed his life and his perspective. Today, Eric's family oversees a foundation helping to find a cure. We're currently in our 15th year. Would love to have you as a partner, either as a volunteer or a gift financially. Look for us on Facebook at Gilead Ministries.
Stay connected to what matters most with high-speed service from Seacom. For the home, we offer access where you need it most. Whether you're looking for high-speed internet or an in-home voice package or both, Seacom has your house covered. Send emails, download music, and surf the web with the fastest service in southeast Colorado. Our two-way wireless connections offer download speeds of up to 15 megabytes, but with a fiber connection, the sky is the limit. For the business, Seacom offers voice plans, broadband internet, DSL, and Ethernet circuits. Our fully integrated Metro Ethernet platform segregates your data traffic logically at the switch, avoiding the latency of multiple routers and quality of service overhead. With only a single router between you and our nationwide backbone carriers, you really will experience the internet at the speed of light. We also offer point-to-point data links to connect all of your business locations. And if you're looking for carrier-grade data transport or dark fiber, look no further than Seacom's extensive privately owned fiber network. We own and maintain our own network with more than 1,200 miles of fiber and growing throughout southeast Colorado. So whether you're looking for dark fiber, for cable, a dedicated corporate network, or carrier-grade data transport, Seacom has the answers. Visit us at seacom.net or call us at 1-800-657-7149. Seacom, world-class communications right in your backyard.
When Knuckle Energy approached country musician Colt Ford to produce an energy drink, they knew immediately it had to be as real and authentic as Colt himself. Knuckle Energy's Southern-style sweet tea is created using a traditional sweet tea recipe that has been passed down in Georgia from generation to generation. Using a Southern tea blend as the basis, as did the Ford family and many others, what Knuckle Energy has created is a product that has a fresh, light lemon zest with an energy supplement. To make this product as authentic as possible, Knuckle Energy has crafted a product that is 100% American-made, just like Colt Ford. So at the end of the day, if you find yourself lacking that energy that you need, don't knuckle under. Chicken and biscuit. Knuckle up. Knuckle Energy Drink. Find it at a come-and-go convenience store near you.
Yes, I am a nerd, bookworm. I'm studious from my cerebral cortex to my gluteus.
You're listening to Nerd Wave Radio, live on Blog Talk Radio.
When I form my alphabets, I get nothing but straight A's. My retainer and headgear connect to a back brace. I got a pocket protector.
I love that part. I got a pocket protector.
You got to protect your pocket protector.
That's right. You got to protect your pocket protector. You're listening to Nerd Wave Radio right here on Blog Talk and YouTube. We're back. We want you to check us out on nerdwaveradio.com. Check us out on Facebook at Nerd Wave Radio. You can email us at nerdwavetonight@gmail.com. Email us, tell us what you think, either after listening on Blog Talk Radio or watching us on YouTube. You can also find us on your mobile phone, m.nerdwaveradio.com, talking about Leonard Nimoy, passed away.
The King.
83 years old.
Like, technically that was Elvis, but...
Do you think, there was this big deal about Shatner not going to the funeral.
He didn't go?
He didn't go. His daughter went. And here's the reasoning that he had, and I'm fine with it. It's no big deal.
I thought he went, but okay.
It was either the Red Cross or something. There was a fundraiser that he had promised.
Right.
And he didn't want to back out of it, and so he sent his daughter, and
I think Leonard would have been good with that because he did a lot of humanitarian work and stuff. Now, if he was going to a Comic-Con convention, I'd have said no.
Right.
But for something like that...
Some people just absolutely ripped him
Really?
Yeah.
So he's helping out people, and people that's messed
He's
up.
doing something for the living, and I understand honoring the dead, but
Right.
but come on, you know.
Right. You got to have priorities.
You have to
Living take precedence.
Absolutely. And I think Leonard Nimoy would have been fine with that. Which one do you
think
think?
so.
Which one do you think was more popular, Spock or?
I'd have to say Spock. Well, I'd have to say Spock. I mean, people loved him. He was the most recognizable, I think.
I think so too. I just think that
I truly think it was Spock.
although Shatner, I think people came to love him later on.
Right.
Because he was in Boston Legal and absolutely hilarious. He went on, oh man, I wish I could think of that. He just did a show not too long ago. I think it only ran for a couple seasons. And it was on the Sci-Fi Channel, I believe. And it was I want to say You Gotta Be Kidding Me, but that's not it. What the heck? I can't remember what it was called, man, but it was funny. It was,
I don't think I ever caught it.
Oh, you got to go back and see it if they have the episode. I think it maybe only ran maybe one season. But it was much like a, why does this happen? Investigating certain sci-fi crazy things. Man, that's bugging me now. So now I got to go into Shatner. And see, that happens a lot. Where they get these new shows. I'm just going to Google in Shatner shows. What do you think will come up? Here we go. Oh, remember some of these? Busted. There's James Spader right there. That's his picture.
Okay, see, now I know who he is. You show me his face.
Okay.
I'm horrible with names.
Okay. Let me go back here into the IMDb because it's driving me nuts, and it has to be there. It has to be there.
Is it relatively new?
Crap, it's not even there. Oh, it's
That's not good.
it's not even there. Oh man, what was it called? Anyway, I'll find out what it was called. I can't find it. But he did it for a year, and I thought it was pretty funny.
I don't remember it, so.
Yeah, and I can't even remember. Anyway, I do think that there seemed to always be this, and I don't know if Shatner and Nimoy created it, but there seemed to be, at least in the fan base, a rivalry between those two, especially when you got into the Comic-Cons and you got into the Star Trek conventions.
It seemed that way. I hope there wasn't, but it did seem that way. Like there was.
Yeah.
I don't want to say animosity, but just that.
Right.
I hate to say this, but I think it was more William Shatner. Just stuff that I'd heard.
Just out on the streets.
Just rumors.
Out on the nerd street. Just rumors.
Well, here's the rumors that I heard was that
whispers.
you'd go to the shows and you could meet and greet and have a photo taken. You couldn't touch the guy. You couldn't talk to the guy. You had to stand so many feet apart from him or something like that.
And you had to pay for your stinking.
Yeah, and you had to pay for that.
Can you believe that? I know that's big. Hey, one of the things you can find on nerdwaveradio.com if you're interested in Denver Comic-Con. Are you going to go?
I would like to. I don't know. When is it?
I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about maybe going for.
I need to. I should.
I don't know.
Do we get to dress up?
You can. I don't. I know. I think Harry's going to go, and I think he's dressing up as Thorin.
That'd be good.
I've never been, but I just think that it would be, if you go to nerdwaveradio.com and just go down to the bottom there, you'll see a Denver Comic-Con little link, and you can click it. And I'm really thinking about going.
We should.
May 20th.
Now I've been to the
May 23rd,
MBK,
23rd, 24th, and 25th of May.
Of May.
Of May.
Oh, it's coming up real quick.
Wait a second. Oh, crap.
What?
I can't go.
Why not?
Well, I may be. Wait a second. What day? What is that?
I don't have my.
That's like a Thursday. That's like a Friday. What is that?
It would have to be a weekend.
Yeah.
They usually have them on the weekend.
That's weird.
That's when you
because
can make the most money because,
that's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Wow.
The reason I know that is I can't go on the 23rd because that's my son's graduation party.
Oh, come on.
Damn priorities.
You gotta have priorities. Come on. He'll understand.
Yeah. Friday, May 22nd
Oh, wait a
is
minute.
launch
I can't
night
go either
opening
because he's
ceremonies.
my nephew.
That's right. You got to go to that. Damn, Denver Comic Con is out. Look at that. May 22nd is launch night opening ceremonies. 72 days, 21 hours, and 19 minutes to Denver Comic Con. Wow. I would love to go that. You said you had gone to NDK?
NDK, that is, my daughters are heavy into that.
Anime.
That is the Japanese anime, which they went and they dressed up. And I mean, and I got to admit, it was kind of fun. It's interesting. It's interesting just to go to watch the people, the ones that are dressed up and whatnot. It was fun. I enjoyed myself.
I think Denver Comic Con is going to be I think there's going to be some good people there. As we get closer, we'll be talking about Denver Comic Con. We'll find out about it and let you know lists and everything. But right now, if you go to nerdwaveradio.com, click on the Denver Comic Con, it'll tell you everything. And we looked up ticket prices and they weren't that bad. Zach, my son-in-law, and I were going to go. Maybe get some people together and see if we can.
That'd be the way to do it. Chip in on gas.
Yeah, just go up to Denver and just to see what it was like for one day to walk around.
Yeah. And that's what we did in NDK. We just spent the day. You know, we had lunch. It was a blast.
Be in the midst of it and see.
It's amazing how I hate to say it, you look at these people that are all dressed up on the TV or on the news or whatever, and you think, freak.
Right.
They are the greatest people. They're the funnest people. Yep. You got to be a fun person to dress up like this and walk around and make a fool of yourself and or, take it real seriously.
Right.
But we had a blast. The girls want to go again.
Yeah, I really want to try and make it to a Denver Comic Con. I know that it's thousands and thousands of dollars if you want to make it out to the International, out to San Diego, because that's where,
that's huge.
That's like Hollywood people. Yeah, Hollywood people go out there. It's amazing, but it is coming up here, and it's close for us. Denver Comic Con, May 23rd, 24th, 25th of 2015.
I think it's best to go the first day or two.
Yeah.
Because usually by the third day, all the people that have been there and are dressed up, they're tired. They're worn out. I mean, they're just beat up.
Hey, maybe we can get Harry to blog for us or something like that, because I think he's going to go.
That would be cool.
Find somebody who's going to go, and last I heard he was going to go. Maybe we can get him to do some reporting.
Yeah, do some.
Yeah. And send back for our Monday.
Take a video camera or something.
Sure. Yeah, and all he has
interview people.
Yeah, just interview people and shoot it back to us, and they probably charge him for it. I'll do an interview for you, but it costs you $150.
Well, see, now that's
that.
only
Bastards at Denver Comic Con. Just a bunch of crazy.
I don't know. I never ran into that at NDK.
Really?
I mean, people. He was like, "Hey, can I take a photo?" I mean, they would pose and everything.
Really?
It was great.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we can get Harry to do something for us, because I think he's going, and I believe he's going as Thor, and so we'll check it out. If not, we'll find somebody who's going to Denver Comic Con. That's coming up May 23rd, 24th, 25th. The Friday, May 22nd, is the launch night. That's the opening for it. That's the biggie thing. I'll be sitting in the stands of La Junta High School's football stadium watching my son.
I'll be there too.
Graduate from high school, so not going to be able to do that, but maybe be getting some feeds back from Denver Comic Con. We'll make sure that we post those on our website, post those on our Facebook too. Maybe we can get Harry to do that. I don't know anybody else who's going to go to Denver Comic Con. If you are close to us and if you're on our Facebook, let us know. Maybe we can get you to do some posting for us or whatever. That's Nerdwave Radio Facebook. Check us out at nerdwaveradio.com. Okay, here's what I want to do. This is very easy. This is something that I do, and there's a number of shows on the Road Less Traveled. Nerdwave Radio is just one of them. One of the shows that we have is called Derek and George. Derek and George is a political show. It's on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time right here on the Road Less Traveled on Blog Talk Radio. And I always do, I do this with George every once in a while, and it's always good, and I think it's good for us to do, since this is your first show. People get an idea of what you're like, what's going on in your gut, what's flying around in your gray matter, what's happening. And basically, it's a lightning round. Okay?
Okay.
I don't have anything written down. I am just going to try, every once in a while, I'm going to pull from the nerddom, the nerd kingdom. Okay? And you're just going to give it to me, gut shot, lightning, bam. Right?
I'm going to draw a blank on everything.
I'll give you an example.
All right.
All right, this is just an example. It's a very easy one.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
Kirk or Picard?
Picard.
You don't sound very enthused about that. You sound like you won by default.
I am, yeah. Oh man, I mean, I am a very, like I said, I love Star Trek. I love the old classic, but there was something about Picard's voice.
Okay,
that boy.
Star Trek or The Next Generation?
Star Trek.
That's kind of slow lightning. Lightning usually strikes. Bam!
Lightning means quick.
Lightning like this. Next Generation or Voyager?
Next Generation.
Voyager or Deep Space Nine?
Okay, I just finished watching all of the Voyagers.
It's a lightning round. It's not some, boom.
Voyager.
Wrong. No, I hated Voyager. Okay,
I don't understand.
Voyager or Enterprise?
Voyager. I'm sorry, Enterprise.
Batman or Superman?
Done. Batman.
No kidding.
Batman would kick Superman's butt.
All right. See, we've had this discussion on Nerdwave before.
This too, but he would be like 12 steps ahead of Superman.
Are you kidding?
Superman is just, he's so innocent and sweet, and he would not think half as deviously as Batman would.
Are you kidding me?
I think Batman would just stomp him.
Batman or Hulk?
I'm gonna go with Batman again. I'm just thinking.
So full of crap.
Well, it comes down to brute strength. I don't know. One good blow from the Hulk and Batman's done. But I'm still thinking he's going to be 4 or 5 steps ahead of the Hulk. And
we got a Mindy Speranza in the chat room.
Hello, Mindy.
I don't know if Mindy's listening. I don't know if you're nerdy or not, but I've really got it. If you are, please type in Batman or the Hulk. I don't understand how you would possibly.
Well, I love the Hulk too. I mean, he's great.
He's great. I just love him.
Not much thinking there. It's just Hulk smash.
Okay, how about this?
Can't go wrong.
How about this? Comic book or movie?
Comic book.
Why? That's what I don't get.
Well, it's like a book or movie. I'm sorry, but I get more out of a book than I do. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love the movies, but when I sit here and read the book, maybe because it's in my head, I can hear their voices, which usually are the people from the movies.
Okay, Mindy's typing something. Mindy says Batman 2.
See?
Holy
I told you. Way to go,
crap.
Mindy. All right.
I just don't.
She's one of my peeps.
Oh, see? Mindy's comic book as well.
See? I'm sorry. For me, I get more reading than I do watching a movie.
I have always struggled with the comic book because of just the blurbs. You know, just trying to fill in the blanks.
Really? See, now for me, that's how I feel for the movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's like...
It seems like to me that the movie just, that it fills itself in, and this comic book is like, I gotta fill in the gaps.
No.
Really?
Well, that's because I think you're watching a movie that they have to kind of fill in the backstory for you. Whereas with a comic book, you know, you've been reading.
Then let me go this way then. Then let me go this way, because we talked about it earlier. Cartoon or movie? Would you rather watch the cartoon Spider-Man or the movie Spider-Man?
Tough one.
Ooh.
Lightning round, I'd have to say movie.
Really? Mindy's typing, so I got to see what she's going to say.
Come on.
Maybe she's not typing to us. Maybe she's typing. She's probably typing to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
You would go with what?
I would probably go with the movie over the cartoons.
Oh, she says that's a hard one.
But then you said Spider-Man.
See, she was just like you. I think Mindy is like your twin.
But like the Batman.
Do you have a twin
cartoons?
sister named Mindy?
It's possible. Who knows?
That's unbelievable because it's just like
possible. How would it be possible? And I don't know.
Maybe it's long lost. I don't know. Separated by birth.
Separated at birth.
So she's like,
I have to ask Mom.
Got to get back to his mom. See, See, that's an amazing thing to me. A cartoon, no way. I would be like, movie.
Oh, really? See, now some cartoons are really, really good. Most of them, the Batman cartoons are really good. I have to admit, Mark Hamill did the Joker, which I only found this out fairly recently.
Mindy says she can't commit. No lightning round for her, just a little bit of rumbling thunder, and that's it. Where's the lightning?
Well, that's why it's like a toss-up, because cartoons are good too. But the Batman cartoons, most of those were really done well. The artwork as well.
The newer ones or the older ones?
Both, actually.
No kidding.
I mean,
see,
I like them all.
That's amazing to me because I just can't get any of the. Okay, DC or Marvel?
Ooh.
Just trying to getting that.
See, now I like both.
Mindy went with cartoons. She committed to cartoons just like you. What do you think, DC or Marvel?
I mean, three of the greatest. I mean, you got Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, DC.
But as a whole,
too.
Really?
Boy, that one. I gotta call that one a draw.
Really?
Even as a lightning round, I'm gonna say a draw.
You know what's interesting is that some people get so uppity and just like
they do.
Oh
they
my
do.
God! They're just like
Democrat.
See,
Republican.
she's like so difficult. I don't understand that. I just don't get that. You'd be like to me, Marvel or DC? Don't know either one. Marvel, cartoon, movie.
Oh,
You have comic movie? No. No, give me the popcorn.
You guys are wrong.
Give me the theater. Give me the See, Mindy went with Marvel. And I understand that there are a lot. And like I said, this being the first show for you, and just trying to get a gut check so that the listeners know this is what Terry's about. And I think it's
mind.
I think it's plain. I think it's easy to see. I think it's plain to understand that you are freaking out of your mind. I just can't believe it. I'm with you. I'm with you on a lot of those things. And I think for me, the reason it's movies is because I wasn't exposed to the comic books.
Yeah, you weren't a comic book fan.
I've never been a comic book.
Which I have. I've sort of graduated. I read now. It's not so much, which I kind of wish I did still read Superman and whatnot.
Yeah.
I've graduated. Heavy metal. It's a more of an adult orientated stories and whatnot, and it's not X-ray. Well, some can be. But they had one out. Used to be called Epic. That was a good illustrated.
See, this is what I love. Mindy asked, "What's this about?" See, she came into the chat room, didn't even know what the show was about. Just came into the chat room, flying around through Blog Talk Radio.
Cool.
And watch.
I'm glad she stopped.
Well, here's what's going to happen. We're going to tell Mindy what it's about, and I'm going to watch her drop out of the chat room.
No, that's not what I thought it was. I'm out of here.
Mindy, this is Nerd Wave Radio. It's all about nerd stuff. That's what it's about. We don't know if you're a nerd, but from your comments there,
aren't we all nerds to a certain extent?
I think so. I think so.
Let your inner nerd out.
Oh, so look at this.
Join us.
She logged in because she liked the book, The Road Less Traveled. There you go. That's the thing. The Road Less Traveled is actually the channel, and there's a whole bunch of different. There are a whole bunch of different shows on the Road Less Traveled. Everything from Christian shows to Nerd Wave Radio to political shows. And it is all about the fork in the road of when you come about, which road do you take? And that's why we have so many shows. None of our shows overlap. We don't do any shows that have anything to do with the other thing. Right. There is nothing on the Road Less Traveled. Mindy says she's not nerdy.
No, but she knew about comic books.
But she knew.
Sorry, you're a little bit nerdy.
I've got to ask you, Mindy. I need you to type in. We got 5 minutes left. I need you to type in. What is your definition of nerdy? That's what I need. That's because we got Nerd Wave Radio.
Yeah. My wife actually thinks I'm a geek,
but she appreciates a good nerd.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. See, there's always that definition of maybe a little bit. See. So maybe she's a little bit of a nerd. That's exactly right. There is the definition between a nerd and a geek.
There is.
Yeah.
And I think they're kind of interchangeable.
I think geeks are a little bit more tech savvy. I think that's where you think of as a geek.
See, now I think opposite. I think nerd is the one that's more tech savvy. That
you think of a computer nerd. I think of a computer geek. I would consider myself to be a computer geek, a tech geek. more than a nerd.
Right.
Just for the fact of I think of nerds as comic book and
which maybe I am a nerd because I'm more comic book than sci-fi and comic books. So that's me.
Wait a second, I'm trying to figure out what Mindy's into. Not into makeup, jewelry, fashion, eyelashes. That's me. I'm into that. Into jewelry, fashion, and eyelashes. I don't know if that's nerdy or not.
A female nerd.
I guess so. I've seen female nerds with eyelashes.
Yes, I have.
I absolutely have.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah, we're for whatever you're into, we're glad that you're
glad
here.
I'm glad that
you know what? You took the road less traveled, by golly, and Mindy, tonight that's going to make all the difference.
It is. It is.
Right there.
I'm glad you stopped by.
Absolutely. That's it's not. Okay, maybe I am. So see, she's talking. I'm talking to that. Okay. I just loved. Anyway, you know what? We got to go.
Is that it? The time is gone.
Mindy came in at the very end of the show. Hey, Mindy, if you ever want to catch us again, Monday nights, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Also, if you want to know what we look like, you can go to nerdwaveradio.com. Also, on Wednesday, the YouTube video of this show will come out.
You get to see me.
And you get to see Terry in all his glory. Again, though, we want to remind you, if you want to email us, you can go to nerdwavetonight@gmail.com. Check us out on nerdwaveradio.com, m.nerdwaveradio.com. Go to our Facebook at Nerdwave Radio. We're going to put some of these things on there and see if we can get a response from them. It's people like Mindy Speranza. It's people like Mindy Speranza that's all about. Just come flying in and be like, hey, what is this about?
And I love it.
Yep. And probably never hear from Mindy again. I hope we do. I hope we do. I love it when you look in the chat room and you see they're typing and you're like, oh, God, what Mindy going to say? She's going to... Oh, she's going to my page. She's going to the page on Facebook right now.
All right, excellent.
Like the page, excellent. Mindy.
Yes, like it.
We're going to give a big shout out to Mindy Speranza on Facebook. As soon as we get done with this, big shout out because she took the road less traveled. We got to go next week.
Found us.
Next Monday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we will talk about something. Maybe, Mindy, you know what? Maybe we'll put Terry in some eyelashes and makeup and jewelry. Who knows? It could go any way. Nerdwaveradio.com. So for Terry, for myself, thanks for listening, and stay nerdy. Nerdwaveradio.com. See you next Monday.